If you like brutal honesty, then this video is for you. I've learned that it's okay to show that I don't always have it all together here on my channel because I wear so many hats. If you're taking your hobby business to a full-time business, you have to do things that are uncomfortable that you're not used to. I have never felt more able to be my complete self than I have on YouTube. Hello, my crafty friends. I'm Brittany, the ginger behind Ginger Patch Designs, and today, instead of sharing my usual studio vlog behind the scenes of running my small business from my home content, I'm going to share some 2024-2025 recap and goals. This is actually going to be part one that's coming out on Monday, and then part two will come out on Wednesday. That will have all the 2025 goals and content in it and how I'm going to achieve those goals. Today, we're going to talk about 2024. There's a lot of value in doing these recap, reset videos, goal videos, because it not only provides, if you're like me, I need accountability. So it provides me accountability and almost forced reflection and something I can look back on later for growth purposes. And then if you're like me, I also really enjoy watching these from other creators and small business owners because I draw a lot of motivation and ideas from them, whether it be, tools that they're using, other goals I might not have thought of, or how they're going about it. And so I feel like these are worthwhile. A quick recap of 2024 is important because I was a full-time teacher for almost 10 years, and I left the classroom, I left my career last May of 2024 and took my hobby business full-time over the summer. I have had Ginger Patch Designs for almost, this is my 8th year. It's come a long way. It's evolved and developed a long way from where it used to be. And what was left in 2024, I basically was trying to find my direction. I was trying to figure out what I wanted my business to look like and where I wanted to take it, and I found it. So when I first left the classroom last summer, my primary focus was learning how to grow my business, starting my YouTube channel, and focusing on market season. And literally that was it, because even though I had done some initial research and learning back in the spring of 2024, if you know a teacher or you have been a teacher, when you are in the classroom, I was also coaching, I was running my hobby business on the side, I was momming and wifing. There's only so many hours in the day, and I did not have anything left in my tank, so to speak, to learn how to grow my business. I never really imagined I would have the opportunity to take my business full time. And so that's why I felt like it was important to take a good amount of time to learn social media, learn YouTube, and just accept that it's going to take baby steps for me to get there. But I've come a long way. These last 6 months have been kind of a blur. So let me break down what I've been doing. So as far as when I first started my YouTube and all the awkwardness that comes with first starting your channel, if you've ever had a channel, and just getting comfortable on screen and talking to literally no one. I'm in here by myself. My husband is outside working on our chicken coop. I wanted to become monetized by Christmas. I started it in June of 2024, and I wanted to become monetized by Christmas because I do want this to be one way of diversifying my income. And if you've been watching my channel, I achieved that goal early. It was the very beginning of December. I was sick as a dog on the couch when I got the notification that I had met all the requirements. So that was super exciting. I feel like I surpassed my goal a little bit since I got it early. What YouTube has taught me is that I can totally be my weird, awkward self on here. And what I mean by that is, like, I found that when I edit less and I leave in all the kooky, and my I call it word vomit, and my brain dumps and everything, like, people are vibing. Like, I feel like I'm trying to grow a little crafty biz community on here, and I love it. I have never felt more able to be my complete self than I have on YouTube. And I love it. It's not because I'm in here by myself. It's the feedback and the comments and everything from my followers so far. And it's made me even more confident and comfortable. And I'm saying all this to say, like, when I was a teacher in the classroom, I won't say I had to be someone that I wasn't, but in order to maintain classroom management, oftentimes with certain classes, I had to be someone else to maintain control, to maintain a positive learning environment, if that makes sense. And I hated it. I hated having to be someone else just so I could do my job. And like, this is my job. YouTube is my job. And I feel like I can just be myself and it's my job. And that feeling is unmatched, for sure. What you doing, big girl? You're gonna knock over all my equipment. Oh, is that the spot? Can you look? Can you look at everybody? Oh, you big girl. This is my other baby, Ruby. Big girl. Now I have to wash my hands because if you have a dog, especially a giant one in the wintertime, baths are few and far between. Oh, you gonna stay for a while? We gotta rewrap your foot. Okay. You gonna stay for a while? Okay, you can't be snoring, okay? So my initial direction of crafty, small biz, and possibly tutorials and pattern roundups, I'm still doing that. I'm gonna continue doing that. But I've really found my niche. Like I was 36 years old when I left the classroom last year. I'll be 37 in just a few months. So I'm not a spring chicken when it comes to starting this brand new journey, number one. I'm married, I'm a mom, I'm a primary parent because my husband travels all the time for his work. So I feel like I'm in this unique space where I can connect with other moms or, you know, experienced women. We'll say it that way. I'm trying to be tactful, but cue the weird, awkward self. And I love it. I want to connect with these women. I mean, I want to connect with younger ones too. I talk to younger crafty girls at my markets all the time. I've learned that it's okay to show that I don't always have it all together here on my channel because I wear so many hats, you know, with momming and wifing and all the things that if that applies to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes it's really, really hard to separate work-life balance in that. And so that was something I was really hardcore navigating for the last 6 months, working at home and navigating work-life balance when my work is in the home and it's so easy to just go in the other room and, you know. So initially, not only did I want to start and grow a YouTube channel to monetization, I wanted to be more consistent on social media. I didn't really set really good parameters with that, if I'm being honest. I remember last summer, I would go out on my porch in the mornings and I printed a calendar and I tried to write out each day, like what I wanted to post so I could go make it whenever I was doing those things. And I was trying to do the post at least once a day. I managed to keep up with that for like 3 weeks. It was so time consuming for me. I just really struggled finding that balance between short form content, long form content, actually developing and making my actual physical products that I have for my business failed epically. So in part 2 of this video, I'm going to talk more about how I'm going to tackle social media in 2025. So in this weird time of leaving my full-time career and going full-time, I was on a budget. I was on a hard budget, only buy what I have to have. What do I already have that I can use? If you've watched any of my DIY market videos, like I am on a budget was the theme, and it's still the theme to an extent. So in that, I was trying to think of ways to expand my product lines with things that direction I actually wanted to go, but with materials and supplies that were affordable for me. So cue a lot of the bookish merch that I did. I did 3 different kinds of bookmarks. I did the classic, very thick paper cardstock ones. I did fabric corner bookmarks that I sew myself, and then the magnetic ones. Needless to say, the magnetic ones were wildly successful, and I'm so grateful because they're gorgeous, they're fun. I love making them. I love when people ask for new dog breeds, they don't see their dog, or my ultimate favorite, when I get to make custom bookmarks with someone's pet. They send me their pet's picture and I make it for them. Love doing that. So needless to say, the bookmarks are here to stay. Oh no, I think my mic stopped working. If the sound is kind of messed up on some of the videos, I don't know if my mic was actually on. It's not on. It's not on. Check, check, check. Okay, I think it's working. My mic just totally cut out on the last several clips that, and I didn't know it. So let's try this again. So let's start with income sources. I only have 4. Again, I left the classroom in May, and it was very much a growth year, and then our growth period before I dove into markets. And as I said, that was my main focus because I knew I was going to make money doing it. It was a guaranteed good source of income. And so I threw myself into that. So that's why markets are such a huge source of my income for the year. Etsy was 16%. I do not do any kind of advertising or anything other than organic traffic on Etsy. I tried this little trial period. I spent like just over $100 for a couple months in the spring just to kind of see if it changed anything. It didn't. Spoiler. Local sales are like people I know, friends, they'll just message me and ask for something, or people I meet at markets and then they'll order locally from me. Local is anything not on Etsy, in person at markets, or on my website. And then my Shopify website was only 9%. Again, I don't pay for any marketing. I expect this graph to look dramatically different in 2025. And I'm going to talk more about how I'm going to make that happen and steps I'm going to take in part 2 of this video that's going to come out on Wednesday. So make sure you come back. I think I've mentioned this before, like I don't feel comfortable sharing like actual dollar amounts for my business, but I think it's equally just as valuable to share percentages because percentages really give you like a bird's eye glance of where your money's coming from and where your money's going, which leads us into expenses. And I'm sorry if I keep like looking down. I've got my iPad here, the same thing that I'm showing you on the screen. So expenses, wow, like the majority was materials and equipment. And let me kind of explain, it is not usually this much. This percentage is too high if this were to be like every year. I would really rather that be like 40 or 50%, which is what it was the year before. I invested a lot of money in pieces of equipment or materials that I knew I would need way back in the spring. Like I bought my EcoTank printer was like $600. I bought a brand new iPad, an iPen. I bought a heat press, a ring light. Some of these purchases are more than others, and some of them, you know, just materials for new products and stuff don't cost that much, but they do add up very, very quickly. And so I knew when I made this chart that was going to be kind of hard to swallow there. Marketing, that 1% is literally what I was just saying that I spent on Etsy, and that is it. I am going to talk about some possible marketing in 2025 on my next video. Market expenses. So market expenses are market fees. I don't put those in with the other fees. So market fees, any food or gas spent relating to markets. For me, I like to separate these fees from like all the other fees associated with like my websites and online platforms because it's 10%. Like that's a really big chunk. And so this is also helps when I'm going back and looking at year over year, like, are we spending too much money on food at these markets? Do we need to be bringing snacks? Because if you have ever done markets or you've been to like festivals and stuff, food is stupid expensive, and you can easily spend well over $100 just on food at events if you don't bring water and snacks with you. So subscriptions, 5%. This is like Canva Pro, my Shopify platform that I pay monthly. I do pay Thematic to use music every month, just, monthly things to run my business. Fees were 5%, and I just realized one of them is not labeled. Let me check that. Sorry about that. So the tiny little sliver between subscriptions and fees is miscellaneous. I guess I could have swore I typed that in there, but anywho, this is like renewing my business license and random stuff that doesn't really fit in another category. Very, very small. Fees are 5%. These are like extra fees, like Square fees to use Square at markets, transaction fees, fees associated with running various platforms. And then shipping was only 6%. I expect shipping to go up a lot next year because the only reason it's lower is because most of my income was from markets, in-person markets. My percentages for income and revenue were actually, honestly, exactly what I thought they would be for wrapping up 2024 and this weird, awkward time of leaving my career and taking the business full time. Again, I 100% expect this to look very, very different in 2025. One of the things I struggled with in the beginning was trying to do all the things too much. And I just had to accept that I could only focus on a very specific list of things in order to get through to the end of the year. Those things being, like I said, YouTube and markets and just a few new products like bookmarks. I was trying to do too many things at once, and I had to almost restructure the way I was thinking, like from teacher brain to work at home mom brain, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm one of those people, I'm almost never like doing nothing. Like even watching TV, I'm crocheting. I'm like putting glue dots and magnets on bookmarks, or I'm like making graphics in Canva. Like I have to be very, very tired or super engaged with a movie to just sit there. And so it's very hard for me to separate work-life balance. So with all of that being said, I've really realized really quickly that I need to restructure the way I think about approaching my day. Like with teaching, it was almost so easy, and I was almost on autopilot because there's both in the classroom, at work, and after work, at home, doing activities with your kid, there's all these blocks of time. So it's very easy to just plug in those blocks of time what I needed to get done. And there was a set time of things to get done. And so one of the biggest things that I've struggled with is I work at home in one of our spare bedrooms, and there's so many other things outside of this bedroom that I can do at the same time. But those are things that are taking away from my work day. I need to be much more intentional about the blocks of time that I do have. My daughter has a really weird 7:30 to 2:30 school day. And so in order to maximize my goals that I do have, I need to be more intentional with my time. And for someone who has crafty ADD, that's going to be a challenge. So what did I do well, and what do I need to work on? This is the part about being a content creator and small business girly on YouTube that I love, because I can be brutally honest, both the good and the bad. Here we go. So something I feel like I did really well in 2024 in this huge transitional time was getting uncomfortable. Like, getting uncomfortable does not bother me. A lot of people push against getting out of their comfort zones, and I did with some things, and y'all are more than welcome to call me on it, but I was completely okay with getting uncomfortable on camera, putting myself out there. I was completely okay with getting uncomfortable in doing things that I've never done before, because the only way to start down the road of achieving my goals and doing this full time was to do that. If you're taking your hobby business to a full-time business, you have to do things that are uncomfortable that you're not used to. Getting uncomfortable leads to success. Like, I feel like I should make that a sticker or something. Getting uncomfortable leads to success. That was like my theme phrase mantra that was like getting me through to the end of December in 2024. Like, this is working. Keep doing it, because it's little by little, I was making success. Success looks different to everybody, but what I achieved in 2024 was success to me. I also did really well at just being myself. If any of my students are watching this, they're probably like, yep, that's her. Like, I word vomit a lot. I probably talk too much. But I'm also real and honest. Like, and I'm totally okay with being my authentic self. I'm very comfortable just sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, sometimes I have my makeup and my hair done. Sometimes my hair is over here on the side of my head with no makeup on. I have filmed sick. I have filmed with my room a disgusting mess. You're really going to see a disgusting mess when I do my shop room makeover video here in a few weeks. I pride myself on being real and honest, even when it's not pretty. I think the most important thing I did well in 2024, to wrap this part up, is that I was very diligent about setting specific, attainable, realistic goals, and then doing the things I needed to do to make those happen. And I did. Like, I'm going to share more in part 2 on Wednesday of what I did not accomplish, what I set out to accomplish, and how I'm going to remedy that. But overall, I'm where I intended to be going into 2025. So things that I need to work on, and I'm being very honest because maybe it's something that you need to work on as well, and you just like maybe don't want to admit it to yourself, because that's hard, right? Like, admitting that we need to work on stuff and then actually do that thing is uncomfortable. And I'm speaking to myself here too. So what I had in my notes is I need to develop habits and systems that are more efficient for the goals I have for myself. I need to change some of the bad habits that I have, like procrastinating and having crafty ADD, for example, in order to achieve my goals. And I am going to talk all about that in part 2. My main theme for January is getting organized. Physically organizing my room, hence the shop makeover room. For example, I have shipping stuff like 4 different areas in my room, and it used to not bother me because I would just get like 2 or 3 orders here, 2 or 3 orders there, and it wasn't a big deal. But during Christmas this year, y'all, this is not working. And there's other things in here that are just not working. The getting the machines out, putting them away. That's why my Cricut has been over here, because as soon as I put it away, I have to get it back out. And it used to not bother me, but it's not efficient. I waste time doing those things. And so I need to redo my room. I'm also going to get digitally organized. I'm going to be starting part 2 next week, talking about physical and digital organization and all my other goals in 2025, and how I'm going to be diligent and realistic, and how I'm going to achieve those goals. So friends, let me know in the comments what's something that you did well in 2024, and what's something that you realize that you really need to work on. And I would love for you to share, because I could probably benefit from some of your ideas as well. I hope that you benefited from what I've shared today. This video was intended as an encouragement, an idea generator, I guess, to help you reflect on where you need to start going in 2025. Just to give you a little preview, I'm also going to be discussing social media goals, personal goals, and more specifically, my small business goals overall, the trifecta there. And I'm going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. I hope to see you on Tuesday. Nope, it's Wednesday. Friends, I hope that was encouraging to you, and I hope to see you this Wednesday, 2 days from when this video airs, for part 2 on 2025 goals and how I'm going to achieve them.